Hello and welcome to another update video about QNT. QNT has suffered quite a bit of a sell-off and we had to adjust the wave count here. My last idea of a so-called 1-2-1-2 setup with a third wave, I mean, that all worked out, right? I mean, really good, good responses to the trading areas here. But then the most recent one broke. That clarified the chart to a degree, so at least we know that it's not an impulse to the upside. So there are really only, there's really only one, let's say, clearly bullish alternative left. And that is here a diagonal pattern in the yellow scenario. So I would have to assume that this here is a 1, this here is a 2. This was an A, B, C, because we only had 3 waves up in a wave 3. The move down so far is a 3-wave move. I can see that as a wave 4. But to be honest, it comes down quite aggressively and already nearly broke below the golden ratio level there, the 61.8 retracement at $114, and then there could still be one more high afterwards. To be honest, this is the only other bullish or clearly bullish scenario that I have on the chart. I talk about as well what will happen if we break below 114. But the thing is, you know, so we also have a trend line here. Those diagonals often adhere to trend lines. A sustained break below the 61.8 retracement level or the $114 level will definitely not be bullish. It will have bearish implications because it would indicate additional weakness. You know, a lot of weakness in the chart will come, you know, will show up when we break below the $114 level. It's just sort of a very important level for market sentiment. Yeah, in a diagonal pattern, we can allow the pullback in a wave 4 to get to the golden ratio. Anything below that, while it's not strictly invalidated, yeah, I wouldn't count it anymore as a wave 4. It's just then, it just has to be something different then. So yeah, it's at best a diagonal, So originally also I had here the wave 1 here. So it was a 5-wave move. I have to count it as 3, and this would then be a flat structure in wave 2. Then yeah, as I said, A, B, C. The only, this is just also a very strong sell-off. So I just want to highlight, I'm not very confident about this structure, but as long as we don't get a sustained break below $114, and as long as the trend line is holding, I can live with that. And then, okay, what would be a target, for that 5th wave? Let's see. So the 3rd reached obviously the 1.618 extension, which means for the 5th, I'd be watching towards, I'd be looking towards possibly the 200% extension level. Let me hide the other ones actually. Yeah, so it starts at $157.60, but that would be very, very, let's say, short for a wave 5, considering the 3rd nearly reached that already. But then we have to assume, or have to consider, this looks a bit like an expanding diagonal, so the wave 5 has to cover a lot of distance. Anyway, 157 is next, and 167. Anything above that would be a stretch. 186 would also be possible. Now, all of that in a wave 5. Good reward to risk ratio from here. It's just that diagonals cannot really be trusted as such. So yeah, again, I don't really trust it. Okay, so we'll see what happens if it breaks below that. Well, if we see a break below that level, we're likely dealing with a B wave pullback. So that's a very questionable scenario then. But we will have this as a next support area. So the idea would then be, this was a 3-wave move, as I said. With a pullback below $114, I cannot see that anymore as a 5-wave move. But we could say, okay, we had 3 waves up, then something like A, B, C down in a B wave, and we could then get a C wave up. That's still possible from a bullish point of view. But the last reliable bullish support level I have left then is at $94.75. Anything below that will likely send it down to around about 80 and then possibly $60. So there are still a couple of support levels left. I don't trust the ABC structure. I don't trust the diagonal either. It was nice with an impulse, but obviously the break below micro support was an early warning that something more bearish is going on, and then we needed to, let's say, reevaluate the chart. And then with a diagonal, it's always worth to be cautious, careful. Yeah. Once we have 5 waves up, that's good, because if these 5 waves complete, we can call that a wave 1, and then the pullback is basically this wave 2, and then from there we can rally in a third wave. So yeah, again, that means 114 is now really key. That needs to hold immediate, or yeah, now basically, we need to turn around very quickly to get to those higher levels. Well, if it breaks, and we're nearly there anyway, if it breaks, then this is the next support zone between 105 and 94.75. That's my update about QNT. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.